And we are live. Welcome to the latest episode of the Barbell Life Show. Tony Camper here, coming from Hawaii. And today's guest is one I've actually been trying to get on the show for quite some time. I want to say it's been like 2 years I've been trying to get our guest on the show. He's a busy man, and it's a pleasure to finally have him on the show, though. So without further ado, let me welcome today's guest, Stephen Gassert. Come on, Steve.
Hi, Tony.
Hi, Tony.
Welcome to the show. It's an honor to have you here. And with Steve is his father, Stephen Sr. How you doing, brother?
How's it going?
Oh, yeah.
We have Stephen Sr. and Stephen Jr. So I'll call Big Steve. I'll call you Steve, and Stephen will be Jr. Okay, that work?
Sounds good.
All right, cool. So like I was saying, been trying to get Steve on the show for quite some time. I originally saw one of his posts on Facebook, I believe, and I just saw this kid moving all this weight, and I was really inspired. As soon as I saw the video, I was like, I gotta have this kid on the show. It's been a little hard getting him on. I reached out to his brother. His brother's a busy man too, fellow powerlifter and his trainer. So, but finally, here we are. We got you on the show. It's great to have you here. Stephen is actually a member of our community, the Barbell Life. I think that's actually where I saw the video he posted. Needless to say, whenever his videos pop up in our group, he gets a lot of love. Everyone comes out, liking his posts, commenting on his posts. Everyone comes out and shows a lot of love. You know, rightfully so. Sorry, my phone is ringing right now. What happens when you go live? All right. So anyway, he's a big hit in the Barbell Life. So everyone watching, we got him on. So let's get started though. Where are you from?
New York.
What's that?
New York. Say it.
Deer Park, New York.
New York. Okay. What's the city?
Deer Park.
Oh, Deer Park. Okay. Is that anywhere near New York City? Anything like that? I don't know. I'm not familiar with New York, so.
We're about 40 miles away from New York City.
Oh, okay. Well, I hear your accent, so I can tell you're not too far from there. Have you always been from Deer Park, or did you move?
No, we're originally from Ozone Park. That's in Queens, New York.
Okay, yeah, I got some friends from Brooklyn, and you know, the accent is you can't miss it. Now, when were you born, Steve? What year?
2000.
2000. Okay, so that would make you 17. Okay. Steve, tell me about when Steve was born and when you found out he had Down syndrome.
Yeah, when he was born, he was having some problems with his mouth, and they didn't know exactly what was going on. So they brought in a geneticist, and she did a couple of tests on him, and he tested positive for Down syndrome. So, I mean, he has no real physical problems. You know, his heart's good, everything's good with that. You know, because with Down syndrome, a lot of the kids have heart problems. He doesn't have no heart problem. But we were told he wasn't going to be able to walk until he was like 5, and that he would have low muscle tone his entire life. I mean,
well, obviously, that wasn't the case. He wasn't having that.
No. We worked with some good people from the school here, ACDS. He was on school from 6 months old. And the physical therapist, Rose, said she was going to have him walking. She had him walking by September 11th when the towers went down.
Oh, wow.
So that was the day he started to walk.
Okay. Now, for our out there, can you tell us a little bit about Down syndrome and some of the things that come with that?
Well, what comes down, you know, small stature, you know, you're small. You have the palms of your hands are smaller. The He is a little bit lower, and you usually have, you know, a heart defect or something like that. I mean, he's got a couple of the aspects of it, but thank God he has no health problems.
The heart is healthy. Yeah. Okay. And there's a lot of learning challenges that come with that as well, right?
Yeah, I mean, if you're told to do something, you know, you can learn it pretty much in a couple of days. With Steven, it's, you know, it's a repetitiveness. You have to keep reminding him. And for years, even though on the screen it looks like he's doing it every day, he has to be reminded where to put his feet, where to, you know, where to squat, how deep to go, and everything. And that's where his big brother comes in. I mean, countless hours in the gym, well, on the commands. I mean, the people that know powerlifting, the commands are the main aspect of it. And it was countless hours to get him to go with the commands. So, you know.
Okay. Well, when you getting a little feedback. When you originally were told, you know, he had Down syndrome, was that hard for you at first?
Oh yeah, because I mean, everybody wants their kid to excel. I mean, you know, and the limitations they were putting on him were kind of hard to accept. And when he started to overcome some of those limitations, it was, you know, it was a very positive note for us. I mean, he does have some, you know, academic problems, you know, things like that. But as far as working and stuff, he's working in the community. You know, the community's embraced him. I mean, the USAPL, forget it. You know, everybody in there has been great with him. I mean, that's where it all started. So it's
okay. And now, from that point on, how did your life change? You know, when Steven came into your life and you realized you're going to have to make some adjustments as far as changes in your life to raise him.
Well, you know, more or less, my wife was the rock with that. I mean, you know, I was upset, as every man would be. You want your son to be like you, you know. And my wife said, no, we're going to move on. Everything's going to be okay. And it did. Everything went smooth. I mean, as we were progressing, everything went well. I mean, just things take longer now. Where you, like I said, where people can learn in a day or two, it takes them a little bit longer. That's all. I mean, we've gotten there. So.
Okay. And what kind of advice would you give to any parents out there who may be having to raise a child with special needs? You know, some kind of positive advice that would help them as far as that goes.
Yeah, don't put no limitations on your child. Don't ever say that they can't do it. Try and just keep pushing. And I'm telling you, he's right here. This is what happened. I mean, we pushed and and it worked. So don't ever give up on your kids.
Okay. Let's see. So as a kid growing up, you said they said he was going to have a hard time putting on muscle. He was going to have a hard time walking. As a young child, did he struggle at all with you know, sports and things like that? You know, PE and things like that.
Well, what we did at 8 years old, when he was 8 years old, we put him in regular PAL football. So he was with regular kids playing, you know, football, and he was fast as all hell. So it really went over well with all the coaches and everything. So he's been pretty much integrated with regular sports since he's 8 years old.
Okay. Steven, how did you like playing football?
Great.
Yeah. What positions did you play?
Safety and running back.
Yeah, both of them.
Safety and running back.
Running back, nice. Okay.
Running back.
So was he as dominant in football as he is in powerlifting?
No, again, because like it was a command thing. You know, 8 years old. You know, every time he snapped the ball, he was moving before the ball sometimes, and you know, when the whistle would go, he would still hit. So hit with a couple of
he's like, wow. Okay. Were there any other sports he was interested in or played in at all?
He played in soccer. I mean, he could run the whole day.
Yeah.
But again, it's a whole learning the commands and the boundaries and stuff where to go.
Okay. Any track and field since he was such a runner?
No, we never put him in track. Because he went from, my son was involved in football, with a football program, and that's where more or less all of the stuff started with him.
Okay. Okay.
Steve.
And what about the Special Olympics? Did you guys ever look into that? Did he ever compete with them?
To be honest with you, that's what happened. I mean, my son was at the gym, ProFit gym in Deer Park, and they have a Special Olympic program there. So my son had told us about it. Said, Dad, you know, you should try it out if this kid's there. So we brought him there, and it was every Sunday, you know, from like 10 to 2. This guy, Wayne Gambino, I mean, the guy is a godsend with the kids with special needs. And he got Steven started lifting, but Steven was more interested in doing the tree lifts. So a lot of times with the Special Olympians, you know, they have a hard time squatting. So when we tried to integrate that into the program, it wasn't working, you know, for all the kids. So at that point, Robert said, I'll take him on, and I'm going to train him to do all 3 lifts. So we kind of pulled away from the Special Olympics. I mean, since then, you had the guy Chip Lundquist at the Nationals just recently who wants Steven to come lift for the Special Olympians. I mean, we were invited to Pilsen just recently, but I was unable to go. The cost was, you know, for me would have been astronomical. So.
So they, so Steven basically he liked squatting too much for that.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Now growing up, Steven, did you have any hobbies? Anything you're really into?
What are you into? Music. He's into rap music.
Oh yeah, some rap, huh?
Yeah.
Like what kind of rap artists do you like? You listen to?
All of them.
Don't Freddie Wild.
All of them.
Yeah, all of them.
Yeah, I'm a little older, so I grew up. You know, you had Biggie, Nas out there in New York. You like any of those guys?
Nah.
Nah, the stuff he listens to, it'll hurt your ears.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. The mumble rap. Okay. Well, I won't even go there, but cool. So, when did he get interested in lifting though? You said he was playing football, soccer, things like that. When did he show an interest in the weight room and you know, lifting weights?
Like I said, my older boy, Robert, was 17. At the time, he was playing football for St. Anthony's High School. And he had a weight program he had to follow. So he said, if I got to follow a weight program, I might as well compete. So he started, you know, working on it so he could compete. And Steven always wanted to go with him to the gym. You know, Steven started doing stuff in the house. Whatever barbells I had laying around, he started lifting. He started doing hundreds of push-ups, hundreds. I mean, every day, hundreds of push-ups. That was the start of everything.
Okay.
So more or less, it was my older boy that got him started because he wanted to be like his older brother. And him and Robert, you know, competed in their first. Well, it wasn't Robert's first, but it was his first. In 2015, it was September in the South Brooklyn Weightlifting Club, and it's just gone crazy from there. It's really, really good.
Now, what brought that about? That first competition, that first meet.
Well, Robert was going to it. Robert was going to the meet, so he said, "Let's just put Steven into it." He said, "I feel, you know, he can do it." So we did it. I mean, and it went over well. We met some people at Paulie Steinem, who owns the gym, who couldn't believe, you know, he had Down syndrome. And another guy, Elliot Feldman, he was just like, you got to put him in competitions. This kid's lifting weight like unbelievable for his, you know, first meet. And it just, you know, rolled with it.
He was about 15 at the time?
Yeah.
Okay. I was gonna ask who were some of his idols growing up as far as who he looked up to. And it sounds like his brother was definitely up at the top of that list.
Right.
Yep.
Is your brother your idol?
Yep.
Yep. Shout out to Robert. He's also part of the Barbell Life community. I believe, actually, I think he is the one who shared the video that I originally saw. I can see how proud he is of his brother through his posts. He's the one I was talking to and trying to get on the show. I know Steven has been busy with all these meets. So how did Robert go about training Stephen? I mean, I know that had to have been a difficult task. What kind of things did he implement? What kind of challenges did he experience? Things like that.
Well, to get the car to go to the gym. So when he was 17, I got the car to take him to the gym.
Well played, Rob.
But he did more research on everything, to try and get him to the top of the game. And when he seen the weight he was putting up, he said, "Dad, this is crazy." And it just kept going and going and going. So, I mean, as far as the programming goes of his weightlifting, Robert was doing that for the most part. He's been so busy that we've delegated that to another guy that's programming Steven now for his lifts.
So the new guy has the easy part.
Right.
Robert, hard part.
Well, I got the hard part too, because Robert ain't here like today.
Okay.
Believe it or not, I have a full Nico set down my basement and a yard in my basement. So.
Okay. Now you said, he has a hard time remembering the commands and things like that, foot placement, stuff like that. I've watched his videos. I'm going to play his videos here shortly, but I mean, no lie, I was watching the video from his last meet, and his form is on point. I mean, flawless with the foot placement, his knees, depth, bar placement. I mean, you name it. I didn't see any kinks in his game. I was damn impressed. So that goes a lot to Robert. You guys did an excellent job. But how do you go from being told he's going to struggle with all these things to being a damn near perfect powerlifter with such great form and technique?
I can't explain it. It was at one point where they wanted to put him on some medication, but the medication would have came into play with the USAPL as far as drug-free goes.
Okay.
We decided not to do it. I mean, it was something that would have made him pay more attention, for the ADHD and stuff like that. But we decided against it and keep him in the drug-free thing and let it roll from there. I mean, his daily struggles are more academic than physical. He has, no physical limitations. So.
Yeah, I mean, he's a beast. I see his quads and I'm jealous. Dude has. Now is that real quick? Is that all just from the powerlifting, or is he actually in the weight room, doing accessory work and things like that?
Well, he does accessory work. He's always doing something. I mean, if I'm not home, he's not home, he'll do accessory work on his own, as far as curls, legs, things like that. Anything where he's not going to need a spotter.
Okay. Well, Steven, you got to share with me your leg day routine, because I want your legs, man. Beastly.
You and a bunch of other people.
Yeah. Okay, so now when he first started, it had to have been difficult. Like you said, he has a hard time remembering things, and but how long did it take till from when he first started and kind of learning? It's hard for anyone really to learn the sport at first, but how long did it take from him first learning to where he was proficient and he's to the point where he's at now, which I said everything is just perfect?
I'd say it was a good 8 months that Robert worked with him before we decided to put him into a meet and stuff like that. We felt confident at the point of Brooklyn Weightlifting Club that he was able to do it, and it panned out. The first nationals he ever went to in Pennsylvania, he missed his first two. We were panicking. Yeah, we were panicking. So, but he made the third, and he went on, to finish that. So.
Okay. Now, when you say he missed it, was it he lost his grip, or he just couldn't get it up, or what?
I think it was one was on depth, and one couldn't even get out of the box. I think he went too deep.
Oh, okay. I'm thinking of deadlift squat. Yeah. Okay. Now, when you said he went his first competition with his brother. From that point on, Steven, did you catch the weightlifting bug, the powerlifting bug? Were you hooked after that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. What did you like? What did you like best about it?
Everything.
Everything.
Yep.
Now tell me, what's your favorite lift? Squat, bench, or deadlift?
Bench.
Bench. Why?
It's my favorite thing to do.
What lift are you the strongest at?
On the squat.
On the squat? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, let me quit talking about it and actually pull up some footage from Steven's. This is his most recent meet. Which meet was this?
This was, I believe that was the national.
National. Okay. IPF?
No, the USAPL national.
USAPL. Some big wigs on that. Not everyone gets to go to USAPL national. Let's see. All right. So gonna show some video. I won't show it all, but I'll show one of each lift. Give me a minute. This computer is new. All right. How much weight is that?
380.
No.
380?
Yeah.
Jeez. Look at the form. Perfect. Let's go for this one. How much is this?
385.
385. All right.
That's almost 75 kilo.
Now I'm going to show this last one too because I think it was a world record, right?
It was an American record.
Oh, okay. That was it then. Okay. How much weight is this on the bench?
130.
That's 130 kilos. How much?
286.
286. Easy. All right, let's take a look at the, I think we have he broke another record for the bench.
Yeah, he broke his own record.
Got it. Okay, let's look at this deadlift now. How much weight is this deadlift, Steve?
Same thing. I got on the squat.
385?
Yep.
Too easy. All right, this is another world record. Getting hyped up.
407.
407, nice. Woo!
Yep.
Tell you what, I was telling you earlier, I was watching this last weekend, and it was right before I went to the gym to hit legs, and I wasn't really feeling it. I wasn't, as far as going to the gym, I was just kind of lazy, you know. I swear, after watching this video, I was fired up, and I killed it. So thank you for the inspiration, the motivation, Steve. Now tell me, when you before you go and do a lift, I see you yelling and you're shaking the bar to get yourself fired up. How does that help you?
From the music.
From the music gets you fired up.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's in the back listening, and then we send them out like a little hound dog.
Yeah, you release the hounds. Well, I tell you, man, it gets me fired up. I was watching that. I'm like, man, he's just killing it. Now how did you do at the meet? What first place, I'm guessing?
He took first place, so that means he's eligible for the Worlds. That's going to be in June in Calgary, Canada.
Nice.
The APL with
Nice.
that.
Steven, what kind of do you get really excited after you big lift?
Yeah.
Yeah. Does it get you fired up?
Always.
Always, yeah. I could tell every lift is just so much energy and enthusiasm. And especially that last lift. I mean, you can see he's getting the crowd going. And then he came up to the bar and you just see him so methodical with his foot placement and, you know, taking in a deep breath and his positioning, and just, like I said, his form is just amazing, and his approach and his style is just, it's amazing. I know his brother was his coach and he taught him a lot. Did Steven apply anything of his own that he kind of came up with, you know, as far as his style goes?
Yeah, you know, all of that waving people on and stuff is all him. Nobody's telling him to do that. I mean, he loves to get the crowd involved. I mean, this kid, Sean Noriega, he's the one that's programming Steven now. You know, he's up there with the elite guys also. I mean, he loves Steven from the local gym here. I mean, we have a lot of guys that be a part the gym in Deep Park here that are top of the line guys. So he's had a lot of good guys around.
Now, what division is Steven competing in? Like, who is he competing against?
He's in Team 2 right now, so you know that's the 16 to 18-year-olds.
Okay.
So,
what are your stats, Steve? Like, how tall are you? How much do you weigh?
he's 5'2". He weighs 145.
You're way bigger than that. Jeez. And it's all the length, I think. Okay. So tell me, what are your all-time biggest lifts as far as squat, bench, and deadlift? What are your biggest numbers that you've ever done?
That was your last meet.
Yeah.
This was the last meet. It was a local meet. They actually, Jim Kipp had a local meet here at his gym, the ProFit gym, and he put on a little show for the local people here. I mean, it was packed. It was a very good sellout. The gym owner was very happy. So
he's a fan favorite. Okay. So what was your squat in this event? How much did you squat?
I rated 5.
No,
I did, right?
412.
Yeah, 412.
No, 407 on the squat. 407 on the squat he did.
407. Okay. And how about bench? What was your bench that day?
Bench was 308.
Yeah.
308.
308. Okay.
Which he's blowing out the box right now. I can't tell. He's got some big numbers coming up soon. So
Yeah, we got to keep that a secret. The competition might be watching. Now, what about the deadlift that day? How'd you do on that?
412 he did on that day.
412. Wow. Man, like I said, send me your routine. I want to get those numbers, man. All right. All right. So, what is how many meets has he competed in? Do you know off the top of your head?
It's got to be 10, 12 meets. I mean, you know, the international are the ones that are more important than anything. I mean, he represented USAPL. And we went to St. Croix, the NAPF last year. I mean, he's the world champion wrestler in the 66-kilogram group. So
let me pull that up actually.
that meet in Texas.
Now, is this the picture from what you're talking about?
Yep.
Tell me a little bit about this event.
It's the IPF World Bench Press Championships. So he's a sub junior in that, in the 66 kilogram. Actually, this meet, he started out, he had like 3 or 4 competitors. And by the time the meet came up, they all moved up or moved down in weight class. So Steve was the only one left in his weight class.
So he didn't even have to really go against everyone because they got scared. They heard about him. That says a lot. It reminds me of boxing when you have a guy who's tough. Guys either drop down in weight class or they go up a weight class because they don't want to fight that dude. Now, Steven, what was it like representing the USA on that stage?
Great.
Love it, right?
Yeah, love it.
Yeah, you proud?
Yep.
Tell me you stand for the anthem.
Yeah, I stand up though.
Nice. Okay. Let's see. So how many records does he have? I remember you saying something like 30 plus.
He's got one world record. He's got one world record in the bench press sub junior.
Okay.
And he's got 11 American records and New York records. He owns 30 something of them. He blows it out the box.
He pretty much dominates his division.
Yeah.
Is there anyone even close? Does he have any rivals? Anything like that?
Believe it or not, this kid from California he went against in the nationals gave it his all. He tried to keep up with Steven and
No chance, huh?
so.
Okay.
Competition is good. Competition makes you try harder. So
now this should be mentioned. The guys he's competing against, they don't have Down syndrome, right?
nobody has no disabilities. He's the only one with a disability.
So he's at a disadvantage, but he's still dominating everyone he goes up against. That's just amazing. Okay. So how has he responded to popularity and being in the spotlight?
I mean, he handles it just like it's an everyday thing. He doesn't expect it. I mean, he was the youngest one invited to the Arnolds last year. He lifted in the Arnolds in March.
Really?
And when he went up to get his ID, the girls were like, Steven. He was just like, what are you talking about? Where him from? We were in Ohio. Nobody really knew him there. And he just like, did they know me? I'm like, no, But he went there and did his thing. He was the youngest one in the bench press. He benched 297 that day.
Yeah.
So, I mean, what a stage there. There had to be 2,000-3,000 people there watching him. I mean, it was a big venue. And he did well.
And no stage fright or getting nervous because of the big crowd?
Oh, no, he had stage fright, trust me. He had stage fright before it, but once it started, he kicked right in. I mean,
just get in the zone. Yeah, I can tell he's definitely got a lot of his focus is amazing. You can tell once he gets in the zone, he's there. There's no turning back. It's insane. So at the Arnolds, he had a bunch of girls coming up to him, huh? You get some groupies, I see. All right.
You there? Okay.
But was it a fun time at the Arnold, Steven?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's if you're into powerlifting, that's what you need to experience. You need to go to the Arnolds.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not just the powerlifting that goes on there. There's so many other venues that are there, and it's packed with people. Packed.
Now, is he going to be there next year?
We don't know. That's the thing. You don't know until a couple of months from now when they put out the picks who they want there.
Okay, well, if he does, do me a favor and let me know, because we have a lot of people from our community, the Barbell Life, and they're all going to meet up, kind of like a little meet and greet, take a picture, and I would love to, get him in on that. Awesome. Okay. Let's see. Now, you said, when is his next meet?
His next meet, we're not going to probably have a meet until the Worlds, which would be in June, because he's going to be training for that. We might do South Brooklyn meet in April, but that's kind of close to his meet in June. We got to see. I registered him for it in April, but it's still iffy whether he's going to do it or not.
Okay. Now, has Steven ever experienced any injuries or anything like that?
Thank God, no. I mean, he gets some back pain once in a while, but you know, we let him rest and we treat it a little bit. You know, some topical ointments, and that's it.
Mm. Yeah, I think because his form is so spot on, you know, it's saving his body, which is awesome.
And believe it or not, we tried two different things with him. You know, a long warm up and a short warm up. He does better with the short warm ups, a lot better. I mean, it's very significant. I mean, these people that take like 20 minutes, a half an hour to warm up, he's 5 minutes, he's ready to go. So
now, Steven, do you have any friends that power lift too?
yeah.
Or
Believe it or not, his class goes to the gym, and you know, there's special needs children also, and he helps them out. You know, she's trying to get more kids started, 2 or 3 more kids from his class started, but I mean, nothing on the level that he's at.
Yeah. Well, that's cool. He's trying to, you know, spread the sport and
Pixelated on me there, buddy. Rose.
help his peers. It'd be competitions or, you know, maybe getting his name out there more, anything like that.
Well, see, that's a big part of the problem right now. Like, he's actually eligible to go lift in Finland for the bench press worlds, and to raise the money, it's you know, sponsorships, you know, hard to come by. You know, that's where the problem comes in. You can't travel alone. So
I wish.
me and Robert have to take them, and it's, you know, significant in cost. So, I mean, the community came out, raised a few dollars for us, you know, for a couple of meets, but my credit cards are maxed. So
yeah, the little card swipes and just going around having everyone swipe.
yeah.
Now, is he currently sponsored at all?
He has not really people that are locked onto him, but Dennis Cherry from SSP Nutrition has, you know, helped him out a lot as far as, you know, with supplements and stuff like that. And Chris Walden from A7 has said that he's interested in sending him to Calgary, you know, for the meet. So, I mean, it helps. You know, just him, it's great. It's half the cost for me. That's the way I look at it. So
Now, does Steve have a YouTube channel or any social media out there that, you know, our viewers could follow him on?
well, he's got the Instagram account, Steve Powerlifter, right? 66 kg. And the Facebook is run by me. It's, you know, is his name, so I pretty much control that. But
Okay.
the Instagram account was controlled by my son, and he'll post stuff right from the gym to the Instagram.
Okay. Well, other than that, what kind of goals do you have moving forward as far as, and it could be anything, school, you know, he's going to be teen soon. So what comes next?
Well, that's it. You know, you transition him into, like, you know, into work, because we're going to be a productive member of society. I mean, and he's been doing well. You know, they got him working at a few different places, and it hasn't interrupted his training at all. And believe it or not, people that train with macros and all of this other stuff, he's a burrito and barbell guy. That's it. Give me a burrito and a barbell. Yeah. So he's not all into,
I love it.
You know, the dieting and stuff. I watch his diet on his weight program. So, but other than that, he's, you know, if he knows he's got to cut weight, he knows he's got to cut weight. He'll do it, you know, on his own.
No issues with that as far as getting them to stick to the diet, anything?
You know, it's close sometimes. I mean, when we were in Texas, it was close. We got there, and it was like he was 2 pounds over. So we put him in a sauna for a little while, you know, a little bit of lemon water. And the next morning, he was just like 1/10 of a pound under. So.
Okay. What kind of things do you do as far as his diet goes? Do you do you keep him within a certain weight class so that he can be under an above class, or do you put weight on him so he can compete at a certain weight class?
What we do is we try to train him like 5 to 8 pounds above his weight class, and then when it comes time for a meet, like a week before, we'll start backing him down, to where he has to be. We should want him to be at the top of the game, top of the weight class for that.
And he's what, 148?
145.5. That's 66 kilograms. So he trains at like 149, 150 most of the time.
Well, I've competed at 148.75, and I'm not messing with his numbers at all. Maybe his squat and bench, forget about it. We gotta get a lift in sometime so I can be humbled some more than I already am. All right, so let me give you the stage. Is there anything that you want to send to our viewers out there? As far as it could be anything, as far as living with Down syndrome, anything on your mind, any plugs, any shout outs. Now's the time to go ahead and get it all out.
Shout outs go out to Bill. He's his bench coach when he was in the Nationals and Worlds. I mean, Zach Cooper, he's also one of the coaches that handled him through the NAPF meets. Joe Lewis, the guys like God. I mean, he gave us some inspiration to make Steven keep going on with the meets. He said, don't ever quit. He's gonna do well, and believe it or not, it helped a lot. With those people pushing us through everything. And just don't ever give up on anybody. You hear a disability. Oh, he's got a disability, but look at the disability. I mean, he's doing well. He's got his health. He's eating good.
Yeah.
And we're looking forward to his first, world championship. And as far as a full meet goes. So I mean, some of the kids' numbers that he's going to be going against are up there. I mean, we're going to get him there. So.
Now, are there any specific records that you guys are chasing?
Of course, his bench is a significant lift, and we just started to put him into a suit. So that's going to be the new Steven next year. He's going to be lifting equipped in a suit.
Nice. I don't even want to know those numbers. Jeez.
I put it just with a slingshot. He's doing 380.
Really?
Yeah.
How do you like using the slingshot, Steven?
Great.
Yeah. Yeah. It's interesting advice. Okay, so real quick before we wrap up, put out his what was the Instagram name again, so we could get the followers there.
Steve G, powerlifter, 66 kg.
66 kg. Okay, and you said his sponsors were who?
Well, A7 International, and FSP Nutrition.
Okay, shout out to those guys. All right, well, it's really been my pleasure having you guys on the show. Steven, you're an amazing person, and you're a phenomenal athlete. Watching your videos is super inspirational, motivates the hell out of me and others. There's a lot of people who really you do a lot as far as going out there and defying the odds and slinging around a major weight like it's nothing. So thank you for that. Look forward to seeing you doing more big things. Steve Sr., thank you for having Steve on the show. Appreciate your time. Thank you for giving me everything I needed to make this happen. And big shout out to big brother Robert. He's
working right now.
Okay, well, big shout out to Robert. Without him, this wouldn't be a thing. Steve, you got anything to say before we wrap up?
Nah.
Fair enough. Steve Sr., real quick. So at the end of every episode, we like to ask our guests for some words of wisdom. it can be anything. It doesn't have to be strictly towards bodybuilding. Just words to live by. What is something that you would share with our followers out there?
Embrace your family and don't put no limits on your disability.
Nice. All righty. Well, again, thanks for being on the show, and
Thank you.
look forward to seeing what you guys have in the future. Take care and talk to you soon.
All right, thank you.
No problem. See you later.
Bye-bye.
All righty. Big shout out to Steve. It was an honor having you on the show. Steve Sr., thanks for making that happen. Take a second to give a shout out to today's sponsor. Same sponsor we have every day, Barbell Nutrition. We just released Raw HGH and Raw Test. Go check those out. Full descriptions on the website, barbellnutrition.com. We also have Thermite and we have Chain Reaction. So check out the stacks. We have multiple stacks, quick delivery, phenomenal, all natural products. Other than that, thanks for viewing, and until next time, guys.